Rise of Kingdoms just released a brand new face-to-face with the developers where they answer a bunch of our questions about really important topics that players have been bringing up to them for quite a while, including the new crystal tech system and piloting. So today we're going to take a deep dive into everything that was touched on in this face-to-face with the developers, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on everything. But first, what's going on, guys? Cheers. As always, if you guys appreciate breaking news for Rise of Kingdoms, drop a thumbs up down below and consider subscribing. We're officially on the long road to 100,000 subscribers. Now, if you guys don't know what a face-to-face with the developers is, this is more or less a monthly series that the developers of the game do where they answer questions that the community have presented them with, which is really important if you're interested in the direction that the game is going and if you have concerns about the game that maybe they actually address. So let's jump right in here. Question one: the new version of crystal technology is an improvement, but it makes it very hard to defeat garrisons and hinders the pace of battles. I suggest improving offensive attributes. Wow, people are already missing that 42% attack, huh? They answer and say, we're making some balance adjustments such as tweaking the past glory buff and some of the offensive bonuses from crystal tech based on the combat data we've collected from each phase. We're also designing asymmetric buffs for rallies and garrisons, which should help prevent deadlocks. That is actually really crazy. I don't think we've ever seen that before. The developers have always seemingly balanced rally and garrison meta just through commanders and equipment and armaments. So now they're going a little bit farther and saying that, hey, we want to make sure that there's always going to be asymmetric buff. Seems crazy. I think the problem with this is people are just going to look at this and be like, oh, well, of course we lost the rally garrison because you guys have better buffs, right? Like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel weird about this, or maybe it's just the wording on this. Also, I don't think we've had enough time, truthfully. Like, I just like when this change came into the game with crystal tech and with past glory changing, everyone knew that it was going to take some time to adjust to a slower pace of battle, right? I mean, of course we used to remember before the new crystal tech, we were in the Liu Che Alexander the Great meta where it was just instant proc everything because you died immediately, right? And like, I don't want to necessarily go back to that, right? And I'm not saying that it's much better or much worse right now, but like, I don't know, I personally feel like we need more time to adjust to a slower pace of battle before we go in and tweak the past glory buff. Like, why start there? I don't know. I'm not a game developer, so I don't know exactly what is best for the game. But again, people complained about the instant proc meta and how things die too quickly, so they made battles slower. Now people are complaining that battles are slower, so they're gonna like tweak it again. Like, just why don't just wait like a year? Like, just wait a year and then see what happens. Like, I don't, unless it's so bad, but I never got that impression from anybody. I'm currently in my first KvK where we're getting to use this. I'm not speaking from experience yet, but I mean, obviously I'm getting my hands on it right now, so I'll know for sure. But I don't know. I've never heard anyone say it's too slow. So, but hey, they've got more data than me, so I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Question two: please add a browser-based map planning tool that allows kingdom leaders to draw on, download, and share KvK maps before KvK begins. This would make planning battles much easier. Answer: we've got a variety of kingdom management tools on the way, including a kingdom/governor search, kingdom graphs, voice chat, wow, and a wider variety of map icons. We also plan on adding map planning tools at a later date. Okay, so that's really, really good. All of these things are absolutely fantastic. Voice chat is a little questionable to me. I don't know if we like necessarily need that. I mean, like, Discord is so good, right? Like, so I don't know. I don't know if it's just a better Discord built into the game, maybe, but hey, if people don't need to use a second app, then that's even better, right? So okay, cool, but it's got to be as good or better than Discord. That's really all it comes down to. If it's not, people aren't going to use it. But anyway, everything else here is just really good. I think those in kingdom leadership are going to be really happy about this answer. Question three: why was kingdom team formation removed after the pioneer test? The team formation rules in the pioneer test were balanced for the Storm of Stratagem story. Based on the feedback we've received, we found that these rules were not a great fit for 4 camp stories like Heroic Anthem. We've temporarily taken the feature offline while we make adjustments. I mean, that it is what it is. That's why it's in the Pioneer test, right? Like, they put it in there. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. They can go back to the drawing board and figure it out. If they can't figure it out, they just scrap it, and it is what it is, right? So moving on to question 4, KvK matchmaking needs work. There are situations where the matchmaking logic is not clear and camps are severely mismatched. Answer: we're sorry that you've had a negative experience with KvK matchmaking. We have a few changes planned to help address matchmaking balancing issues. 1, in the near future, we'll be launching a kingdom info tool to give you a more objective evaluation of your kingdom's actual strength. We'll continue to expand this tool in the future with new features, for example, power graphs for kingdoms and domains, and we welcome any feedback you might have. We'll relaunch the Pioneer test for kingdom team formation as soon as we can, which should help reduce unsatisfactory camp pairings, right? So this kind of goes with the previous question up here. So what they're saying is like, okay, we're going to give you all the information possible, and then once we figure out the team formation system, then you guys can just do it. You just do it, because I mean, the truth is, like, KvK matchmaking has been something people have complained about for years, like literally since KvK came out. And so like seeing this is almost a meme, right? Like people talking about, oh, matchmaking so bad. It's like, yeah, well, I mean, what do you like? It's never been perfect and it never will be perfect, right? So obviously matchmaking needs work, right? Like we all kind of agree with that. There's always going to be some KvKs where it's like, oh wow, what were they even thinking? Even my previous KvK, there was some kingdoms in there that seemed a little bit questionable. So yeah, hopefully with these upcoming changes, we will get closer to a better KvK matchmaking experience. Although again, like I said, it's always been the case that people feel like matchmaking needs work. So I just don't think that this is a problem that will ever be solved, but we can inch closer and closer to perfection, even if we can't actually achieve it. And so this looks pretty good. Question 5, please release more historical and realistic city themes in the future. That's not even a question, that is just a suggestion. And the answer is history has always been at the heart of ROK, and rest assured, we plan on releasing more realistic, historically themed city themes. Okay, well, I gotta say, I am not, I don't really care about that at all, to be honest with you, because I've been playing since the very beginning of Rise of Kingdoms, when we had a giant pumpkin on the top of our city, and I think this is still one of the coolest city themes in the entire game, at least in the epic tier. Okay, so I don't really care about historical accuracy. If it looks cool, it looks cool. If you want to have a dragon on the roof breathing fire, I'm down for that, you know what I mean? So, but whatever, if more people want more historically themed things, then fantastic. I don't care about that. So if they do that, great. Question 6, please modify the Zenith of Power event. Granting city themes based on rankings motivates everyone to raise their power by hoarding resources instead of fighting. What's more, those who don't rank in the top 10 don't earn a city theme and get made fun of. Yeah, that's terrible. It's almost like the whole point of the event is to pit people against each other. Like, no, but I agree, this sucks. It sucks to come in 11th place, of course. Let's see what the answer is here. We're planning on adding a new exchange currency to ensure all governors have a chance of earning the event city theme. Here's how it works. 1, during Zenith of Power, you'll be able to earn the new currency by increasing your power. Okay, so that has not changed. Number 2, once the rankings are finalized, you'll be able to use this currency to redeem the current Zenith of Power city theme, the theme effect, and other items in the event shop. Governors in the top 10 will still receive the event city theme, but the top 3 will no longer receive the event theme effect. Instead, the theme effect will be available in the event shop. There will be a limit on how much of this currency you can earn per event. Any unused currency will be lost at the end of the event. All right, so I think I see here, basically there's probably going to be a certain amount of power where if you gain this much power, you'll have enough currency to exchange for the Zenith of Power city skin. However, if you're in the top 10, then you probably not only get that currency, but you are given the city theme, and then you can use your leftover, whatever that currency is, you can use that on other cosmetic things like the theme effect and things like that. Okay, so this does make sense to me. If that's how this works, works, and there is no limit to the number of governors that can get the Zenith of Power skin, I think this is a really, really good change. Yeah, I guess this would solve the hoarding problem because you wouldn't need to be number one. You would just need to reach whatever that number is that gets you enough currency to get the city theme, right? Also, this would give you a reason to participate in Zenith of Powers that you don't care about the theme for. So let's say it's like, you know, cavalry attack or something, and you already have a cavalry attack skin, you could still get a certain amount of this currency and redeem it for other items in the event shop. So maybe, like, I don't know, maybe there's some cool things in here, like maybe you can get sculptures or material blueprints or something. I'm not sure, right? This is all speculation, but or maybe it's the case that the event shop will be purely cosmetic. That's totally, like, the theme effect is purely cosmetic, so maybe that will be the case, assuming that the theme effect stays cosmetic, right? I would be very disappointed if they released the theme effect and it also had like 3% march speed or something. Like that would be just like so obnoxious, right? So I hope that the developers are not considering doing that. Put all the stats on the skin and make it so that's the only thing people need to get. Just keep it the same you've always had it, and make everything else around it more, you know, interesting. And maybe you make the themes cooler and cooler and cooler so people like feel, you know, left out if they don't have it. But just you know, hey, this overall looks really good. It looks really good. Again, if all players can get this currency and it's possible to get the Zenith of Power skin without being in the top 10, then that is really, really good, especially considering how good the new Zenith skins have been lately. Hopefully they implement this with the next Zenith of Power. Like, please don't, like, we need this. Okay. That would be, I would consider pushing Zenith if we actually were guaranteed getting this. So this looks really, really good as long as it's working as I assume that it will work. Okay. Question 7, please release more unique cosmetics. I'd like to be able to differentiate myself from other players. Answer, we've got several things in the works to improve the range of customization options. 1, new legendary city themes to redeem in the season shop. Okay. Number 2, we plan on adding a new rock level system, which can be increased by purchasing bundles. Increasing your level will allow your character to acquire and upgrade exclusive cosmetics. These cosmetics will not be permanent, but can be renewed by meeting certain conditions. The new paid customization feature unlocked by reaching the highest rock level create a new and exclusive city theme on the basis of an existing one. Okay, so I'm confused on how that's different than SVIP, right? I mean, I can't open it because I'm a poor person. Apparently I can't even look at what's in here. That's how poor I am, which I think is obnoxious. Like, can I at least see what I get in the shop? Maybe if I could look in here, I'd have an incentive to work all the way up there, right? But okay, it's an exclusive club. I can't even look in there without being SVIP. Got it. Okay, anyway, I don't know how this is different than the SVIP system, because the SVIP system is already a system that is something that is increased by purchasing bundles, right? And all the cosmetics in there, from what I can tell, are not permanent but can be renewed. What are these certain conditions? Like, oh, you must buy 10 bundles a month or something. Like, this seems like a really weird, like, when people say they want to customize their city, that this, I don't know. This, I don't really care about any of this at all, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not that interested in, like, I think cosmetics are really good for the game. I just personally, as a player, am less interested in cosmetics, and I am satisfied with the way that the latest city themes have looked. And so maybe this just isn't for me. So I don't really understand this. I don't understand the appeal to this. So I don't know. Also, when they say the season shop, are they talking about the cosmetic shop here? Are they going to start putting legendary stuff in here? Or are they talking about the season shop, like literally the season of conquest shop, right? Like, is that this? I assume it's this, right? Are they going to put more legendary skins in here? That would be pretty cool. I would love to see more legendary ones, because I mean, as you guys can see, I haven't bought any of these besides Twilight Falls. It's the only one really worth getting, in my opinion. So yeah, more interesting and fun and cool things in there would be awesome. At the end of the day, this really isn't for me. Question 8, there's too much piloting in open field battles, making it impossible for kingdoms without pilots to keep up. The devs need to get involved. True, brother. True. Wow, never heard of more true. That is the biggest true that's ever been trued. Biggest true. Okay, answer. We are dedicated to providing governors with a fair and balanced playing field. Right now, we're reviewing the impact of piloting on the competitive landscape and are working on a plan to address it. Once the plan is finalized, we'll communicate the details to the community through a face-to-face with the developers and other announcements. Okay, so finally, this is basically them saying like, hey, we see you, we hear you, we're working on it. Okay, which is good. That is a step in the right direction. We finally have confirmation from the developers. They see it. They know piloting is a problem. You know it. I know it. Everyone knows it. It's been a problem for probably 2 or 3 years now, if not longer. We are finally all on the same page. We are finally all being honest with ourselves, which is fantastic. Maybe we can finally solve the problem. And you know what I think is really interesting is that they don't even define pilots here. They don't even say what it is. They just use this term, assuming everybody knows what it means, which probably means that it is so common that they just expect you to know. They know that you know what pilots are. And if you guys don't, if you're wondering, Omniarch, what is a pilot? A pilot, or the act of piloting, is when you have somebody else log into your account and they play the game for you. They fight for you. They do things for you on your behalf while you are offline, while you're busy, while you're sleeping, whatever the case might be. I personally think that that is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, this is a video game and you lost the plot. You're supposed to have fun. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? You're so, like, huh? Someone else is playing a video game for you and you're not even there to witness it? Like, what's happening? Anyway, that's what piloting is. And there's multiple reasons why people pilot. There's multiple reasons why people would choose to pilot somebody else's account, right? Whether it's for fun, they want to play in the KvK, or if there's, you know, some sort of compensation involved or something like that. There's multiple reasons why people might pilot, or why might people like to be a pilot. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that they don't even say what it is. They just address it. I mentioned this in my video when the 1960 leadership sort of stepped down and disbanded. I mentioned this in that video, and this was kind of the purpose of that video, but I think a lot of people didn't watch it because they thought that my video was just covering the news, which was not the point of that video. So if you didn't watch my video covering the 1960 stuff, check that out. It wasn't really necessarily about 1960. It wasn't like me trying to break the news 4 days late. Okay, it was me kind of talking about the impacts of their reasoning behind stepping away from leadership, and piloting is obviously a big thing here, right? In that video, I mentioned that I have talked to community managers and I've raised my concerns behind closed doors, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure every content creator that you can think of in the content creator Discord has done the same thing, whether it's in you know, group chats, or if it's directly one-to-one with the community managers. Pretty much every content creator that I know of has either, you know, raised concerns themselves or have joined in on the conversation when it comes to pilots. I don't know, and I need to be very clear here. I've played the game for like 7 years. I don't know anyone who likes pilots. I don't. I know people who use pilots because they have to. They feel like they have to. If you want to be competitive in 2025, you kind of have to use pilots, right? Now, as a partnered creator, this puts me at a disadvantage because piloting is technically, as far as I know, still against TOS. So I don't use them, right? And then people look at my kill points and they're like, wow, he has so few kill points. And like, look, that's not the only reason why they're low. Let's be real. The first like year or two of me playing the game, I was a scrub. I didn't know what I was doing. I was free to play for a while. And for a long time in my Rise of Kingdoms journey, I worked on weekends. And so I literally just could not be involved in KvK as much as I wanted to be. So I'm not going to sit here and say that piloting is the reason my KP is low. I'm also a scrub. Okay, let's be real. All right, but I will never accept criticism from somebody who uses pilots, because I know that all of my kill points were gained by these fat American fingers with this disgusting mouse. Okay, we can agree that pilots are something that need to be addressed. Okay, it needs to be addressed. By the way, this is not an opinion. Like, pilots either will kill the game quickly or slowly, but the outcome will be the game will die. Okay, like I don't mean to be hyperbolic here, but like that is the long-term outcome of piloting in a game like Rise of Kingdoms. So it's either gonna happen slow or fast, or we could address it and like fix it, and maybe things will be better, right? And And so I would like to see that. I think pilots are probably like top 2 biggest problems in the game right now. I think getting new players interested in the game, hooked into the game, and progressing and having meaningful progression is probably the #1 thing that the devs should be focusing on. But piloting is like a really close second, and it might actually even be more important, to be honest with you, because even if they perfected the new player experience, they would inevitably get to Season of Conquest and then need to hire a pilot, right? So yeah, I could you know, argue that I think pilots might quite literally be the most important thing for them to fix in the game. So like, at least they are acknowledging it here, that it is a thing. Okay, and to be fair, it's not hard to solve the problem. I think everybody knows that the problem isn't hard to solve. The problem is, how do you solve it in a way that won't cause a bunch of people to quit, right? Like, that's the biggest thing. There needs to be a balance of like you can't just ban everybody that's ever piloted, right? Because the problem is so big now that like you just be banning everyone in SOC almost, right? Like, that's just, you can't do that. Of course you can't do that, right? So like, it seems like it would be an easy problem to solve, right? Like, has someone ever logged into your account? Yes or no? If answer is yes, then banned, right? Like, of course, but of course you can't do that. You can't ban you know, tens of thousands of players, all of which are like paying customers and are at the top of the game, and they're really invested. And a lot of people who use pilots actually love Rise of Kingdoms, right? Like, they like the game, they want to play, but they feel like they have to use pilots to keep up, right? So like, it seems like a really easy problem to solve on the outside, but when you really step back and think about it, like, the problem is so widespread now that you actually can't just ban everybody that's done it, right? So, you know, it is a nuanced problem. I see where the devs are coming from when they take that approach, right? When they're trying to fix this, I see how it can be hard, even though it looks easy. Personally, a suggestion that I have put out there is a tiered warning system. Okay, so if you know, log in from the USA and then in 2 hours somebody logs in from, you know, Vietnam, okay, well, clearly you didn't just take a flight to Vietnam in 2 hours, clearly someone logged into your account, right? Okay, so when you can verify that, and people, there's always going to be the gaslighters. They're always gonna be, oh, my spouse, oh my, okay, my iPad, my spouse has my iPad and she's in Vietnam and she just likes to, she opened the game, like, it's not me, I didn't mean to, like, how can I control it? Like, she's my wife. Like, shut up. You're lying. You're gaslighting. Stop it. You're wasting support's time. Stop lying. Okay, we all see it. Just admit it. You pilot. Okay, anyway, the point is, if you can look at geographical data like that, right? And the other thing is, oh, I just turned on my VPN. Yeah, I'm randomly using a VPN now. Like, it's just I'm allowed to use VPNs, right? It's like, dude, shut up, you liar. Anyway, the point is, if you can verifiably prove that somebody is using a pilot, okay, then you send them a mail. Okay, it comes into your personal mail or your system mail, and it's got a big red icon right here, and it says, warning, unusual login detected, and there's a message that says, hey, multiple people are logging into this account. We see it. We know this is happening. Stop doing this or we will ban you. Okay, that's strike one. You just get a warning. No downside. You just get a warning. Okay, if it happens again within the next month, then strike two is you don't get to earn kill points for the next 72 hours. That's it. Don't ban the account. Don't stop the pilots from logging in. Nothing. Let them play. If they want to play, they can play. But strike two is, okay, you broke the rule twice in a row. Now you don't get kill points, period. If you want to help your alliance, great. You can still field fight. You can still join rallies. You can still join garrisons. You can still play the game. The kingdom is not affected at all, right? You can still do your job, but you won't get kill points for it. Simple as that, right? Oh, you don't like it? Well, don't break the rule. Okay, strike three. Okay, now you've broken the rule 3 times in a row. Now you're teleported back to home kingdom, right? And you could still log in, you could still play the game, you could still do whatever you want in home kingdom, but you're teleported back to home kingdom and you're locked there for, you know, again, 72 hours or something like that, and you still can't get kill points. You know what I mean? You know what another punishment could be? Maybe like warning number 5 or 6 is they just remove the secondary password from your account. They're just like, okay, fine. You want people to log in, all the previous warnings that we've given you and all the previous penalties, those things stay intact. Now you have no secondary password on your account. If someone logs in and goofs up your account, GG, you should have listened. Okay, we gave you 5 tries, and hopefully the person that's logging in your account from some other country, hopefully they're a good actor, because if they're a bad actor, they can delete all your stuff, and we ain't gonna help you. Okay, they're gonna expertise vous etienne. Okay, they're gonna use all of your materials, all your choice chests in here. They're gonna use all of it to build you some legendary gathering gear. Okay, you're gonna have 8 sets of legendary gathering gear, right? Like that is what they should do. They should, and hopefully it doesn't happen. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you. But one of the penalties should just be you've lost your privileges of having a secondary password. You just don't get it now. Sorry. If something happens, don't reach out to support. You're blacklisted from support. GG. And you have this tiered system where the punishments get worse and worse and worse. And so you just keep restricting the account more and more and more, and you never have to ban people, right? You don't have to ban people. You don't have to make these things permanent. All you have to do is just make it inconvenient. Just make it annoying, right? If it's annoying to use pilots and you start actually doing something, then people will be like, oh, okay, like they see me, they know I'm doing this, like, okay, fine, like I won't get kill points for the next 72 hours, but like I can still play, and then maybe I won't do piloting anymore, right? Like you just make the punishments, you just crank it up slightly, right? It doesn't even have to be anything crazy, right? And then on every single one of those warning mails, you just put at the bottom, we reserve the right to delete your account. Simple as that. And the answer, that's true, by the way. If you didn't know, if you read the terms of service, you literally don't own your account. I don't know if you know this, right? This is not your account. You are, I'm not going to get into it. Just read the TOS if you want. Okay. But the point is, just like with every game, okay, this is not exclusive to Rise of Kingdoms. Rise of Kingdoms reserves the right to ban you for any reason. It is what it is. So they should just have a friendly reminder at the bottom of every single one of those warnings, like, hey, if you keep doing this, this could be the outcome. Now, should they ever actually permaban people for piloting? I don't know, right? In a perfect world, I probably would, right? Like if I could press a button and make that reality happen, I probably would, but it would only be after they've broken the rule, 15, 20 times, you know what I mean? Like give people plenty of opportunity to stop breaking the rules. And if they keep doing it, then okay, well, you are literally making the game worse for everyone around you. You have to get banned. Like I don't know what else to say, right? But even if the devs don't want to take it that far, again, as long as they just give just little tiny warnings, little tiny inconveniences. Okay, you've broken the rule 5 times, you can't teleport now. Sorry, you lost your right to teleport for a week. Like you could still log in, you can still get the commanders, you can still play the events, you can still get sculptures, you can still do everything, you can still farm, you can still get resource, you just can't teleport, right? You're stuck in home kingdom, can't teleport, it is what it is. So like just little things like that just make it inconvenient. Just make the game inconvenient, and then you'll see, piloting will go down significantly, because especially if the second warning is you can't get kill points for 72 hours, and oh well, that overlaps with Kingsland, right? Well, okay, well, man, I mean, like the pilot's not even going to want to play then, because they're not going to get, they're not going to get anything out of it. It's not going to be fun for them. They won't know how well they're doing. You know what I mean? So that was my suggestion. Is it perfect? No, of course it's not perfect. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I'm just a YouTuber. What do I know about game development, game balance? I don't know anything. Okay. But I think that solution would be better than their current strategy of not doing anything. And also it would be better than permabanning people, right? Because that obviously is not a solution. So that's a little bit of a middle ground in my opinion. Okay. All of that to say that I'm glad they're addressing pilots. I'm glad that we're finally talking about this. I'm glad that something could possibly happen. Hopefully it will work. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later. And hopefully we can get this under control. Okay. And if piloting is under control, then it will be the best outcome for the most number of players. And I know that there's going to be a small subset of people that like piloting. They like piloting. They think it's no problem. They think that, you know, everyone should pilot. They don't see an issue with it, right? Though that is the minority. I'm going to be honest. I personally have never, and maybe it's just me, I've never talked to someone that likes pilots, thinks it's not a problem, and thinks that it should stay. I've not met a single player. So I'm sure they're out there. I'm sure that there are small groups of people that all, you know, pilot the same account and it's like a group project or something, and they just like the game that way. That is not the majority of people, and we should not build the game around those people. We shouldn't. We need to build the game around making the most number of players happy and making the competitive environment as healthy as possible, so that way the new players who join the game reach end game and they're satisfied with what they are seeing and playing and getting, right? That's it on piloting. So all of that to say, glad they're working on a plan to address it. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's not some purely performative thing. Like, hopefully this is going to be a real solution. Okay, whether it's as strict as what I recommended or not, hopefully it at least does something, and we'll see how that goes. Moving on to question 9. The attack march feature is better than it used to be, but it still needs improvement. Answer: we have additional improvements to attack marching on the way. These include improving the core logic of the feature and adding customization options to further reduce micromanagement. That's actually fantastic. As attack march gets better and better, it gets more and more possible to play on mobile, and so I'm really happy to see this. I think attack march is fantastic, right? Question 10. Please make regular events less grindy. Some of them now take way too long to complete. Answer: we've made some adjustments to events such as the Golden Kingdom and are looking to improve the pacing of events like Trial of KvK and Arms Training. We welcome any further feedback our governors may have. Okay, so this is again another suggestion that we've gotten for the last 7 years, right? I mean, ever since Rise of Kingdoms has come out, we've gotten this suggestion: please make events less grindy, right? I remember when the KvK ceremony was 100 levels, right? I think was it 100? Yeah, it was 100 levels back when I first started playing the game, and the rewards were the same, and the scaling was the same, but there was 100 levels, right? So yeah, I think this is good. Obviously less grindy events is fantastic, but all in all, this is probably one of the most important face-to-face with the developers that we've ever seen. Crystal tech adjustments, past glory buff adjustments, we're seeing more kingdom management features added, we're seeing KvK matchmaking needing reworking. Like, this is you know, a lot of these are the biggest heavy hitting concerns from players, right? Zenith of power being more attainable by more people is fantastic. Piloting is like the #1 problem with the game. Better attack march, less grindy events. This is like probably the most honest and impressive face-to-face with the developers I've ever seen. It's great to see that they are addressing all of these issues. I highly recommend that you fill out this survey in green. Let them know what you think about this face-to-face with the developers. As always, give them honest feedback here. Do not curse, do not be rude, do not be annoying, do not be obnoxious. Give them honest, good feedback, please, using this button. They're not, I'm not going to say they're not. It is less likely that they read my comments and more likely that they read this button. So in the comments, I would love to hear what you guys think about everything in this face-to-face with the developers, and I would like to hear what you guys think about piloting and sort of what can be done about it. But if you want the devs to hear you, this button right here, this green link, that's what you should be pressing every single time. Please do that. And with that being said, guys, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, I know this was a longer video, drop a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel a ton. It helps get this video out into the YouTube algorithm so other Rise of Kingdoms players might see it, and consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell to be notified the next time I upload a Rise of Kingdoms video. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Omniarch. I will talk to you guys again soon. Peace.